and started editing then, and started it when I was a university student. It sort of worked well with my studies. If I was doing like intro to British history, and so what better way to study than do a lot of the articles on British monarchs and things like that. And back then, yes, there were like the Tudor monarchs did not have articles, and there's a lot of big empty spaces to fill there. Then I graduated from school, and like a lot of people didn't find employment right away, and so I started writing encyclopedia articles about 8 hours a day or so, which did that for about a year, and it was a lot of fun. And again, it was a time when there were huge amounts of content that you could just sort of throw things in there, just off the top of your head knowledge, yeah, there was a huge sort of uncharted space. And also it was an era that really, in terms of, there was very minimal policy and things like that. Certainly over the last years that has changed. Like, I've had articles deleted, and it probably is about the most painful thing that I go through in terms of the Wikipedia editor, like having sort of something you worked on deleted and rejected and things like that. The one thing I must say is that I very rarely had things stay deleted for the long term, like through the process. There have been cases where it's taken about 5 years working through various things, but yeah, to sort of get going back and forth, and maybe 6 months from now, someone else will come through and throw a deletion template on that article again, and it will go away again, and there'll be another long series of discussion. And for the most part, I think the basic principles that we usually delete things on are very sound. Like in terms of, it needs to be a verifiable source. You have to have good references that can back up exactly what it is. Of course, discussing what those references are and everything like that, and then there are people out there who just sort of will just consider sort of large swaths of things not right through the encyclopedia for one reason or another. That does bother me somewhat sometimes, but yeah, and I don't edit Wikipedia as much. Like, not really because of anything to do with Wikipedia, just because I have a job now and other interests and things like that. But it is very different. Like, if I want to write a new article, it now usually involves going and spend an afternoon at Rogart's library and finding some book that no one has checked out for 7 years, because that's the only piece of information out there or what you have to do to find a piece of information out there that isn't in Wikipedia. An awful lot of, like, what I spend my time doing, what most people do, is just a lot of sort of reworking and tweaking and modifying and everything like that, which is absolutely essential, but certainly, yeah, it's a different experience than the old days of just waking up one morning and writing an article on the Panama Canal, or things like that.
So I'm wondering if other experienced editors